Team Thoroughbred, Ro Melnikov here from South Jersey. I was planning on being with you live, but I had a family obligation unexpectedly that I had to attend. So I apologize. So I made you this recording because I think that you really will find it helpful. It's an honor to be with you. The title of my talk is How to Take Your Dreams Off of the Shelf with the Juice Plus Business. So often we dream of what we want to be, but fail to make a plan to achieve those dreams. If we do not map out a plan, it will never happen. Often people will say, if I had a stronger upline, or if I had more sideline buddies, if my family circumstances were not the way they are, things would be different. However, you're the difference that makes the difference. You have everything you need inside of you. Let me tell you a little about myself. I know some of you have heard my story, but I really want you to listen to it carefully this time. I don't want to get too personal, but has anyone ever had their significant other break up with them? Can you imagine that my former husband said to me, "You're too sick for me to be married to. I want a divorce." I was devastated. I didn't know what was worse, me going through my health challenges or the divorce. We divorced in 1989. Let me tell you about myself. I'm formerly an elementary teacher and an adjunct college professor, but today I'm with the incredible Juice Plus company. I resigned from teaching to join them in their mission to inspire healthy living over 22 years ago. Why, you might say, would I leave my tenure, my pension, and a nice salary behind to join a marketing company when I had no experience in marketing? Well, my story started in a hospital bed. The doctors were trying to figure out how to use gravity to assist in getting the water out of my legs without having to lie me down, because it would result in excruciating pain from the pleurisy in my chest. You see, my kidneys were failing, secondary to the systemic lupus that I was diagnosed with when I was 22 in college. I suffered with arthritis, liver involvement, bowel problems, and I was always tired and lethargic. I took tons of medicines and vitamins to no avail. I changed my diet, but I still had flares. Adding the Juice Plus products made a tremendous difference in my health. It not only lowered the inflammation in my body, but also contributed to a healthier immune system, improved my hair and skin, and gave me so many other health benefits. But it also acted as a catalyst, encouraging me to make other lifestyle changes. I actually started to crave more fruits and vegetables. Today I can sit before you and God and say that I've been symptom-free with energy and vitality for 20 plus years. I also might add, I married my divorce attorney, and we have two healthy young men, Tyler, 23, and Dustin, 18. Can you imagine that? After being told by medical doctors that I would never even conceive, I, at the age of 37 and then 41, had those babies. Now I know you're probably trying to do the numbers. Yes, I'm 60 years old. Now, with getting results like that, you can imagine my passion and my great desire to want to pay it forward. I have touched many lives, people with cancer, low energy people, people that wanted to stay on the side of prevention, seniors, expecting mothers. There really is no one that cannot benefit from Juice Plus. To reach more people, I ask people to join me in sharing this easy solution for health and wealth. Today I hold the top position in the company like so many other people. Pretty powerful story, huh? I caught you off guard in the beginning with telling you my product story so that you paid attention. Do you remember me saying, how many of you have ever had your significant other leave them? That kind of startles people, doesn't it? Then I touched your heart and perhaps inspired you to help others. And in the course of doing so, had you consider that maybe you could reach the top too. Am I right? Make your product and business stories the best that they can be. Share them with your upline and commit them to memory. They do not have to be as long as mine, but make people pay attention. The other reason that I shared my stories with you is that I wanted to impress upon you that, I had the best medical doctors, the most powerful medications, and yet I was still sick because I was letting people treat me as a victim. It was not until I made a decision to get better that I gradually did. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I surely did not want to be sickly. I had dreams. I had to make plans to achieve those dreams. So I incorporated Juice Plus into my life, which was a catalyst to get things rolling in the right direction. Then I had to make a plan to overcome my addiction to caffeine and junk food. I had to work my plan. I tapered myself off of my Pepsis. I replaced the not so wholesome snacks with more wholesome snacks. I changed my biological clock so that I went to bed at a certain time. And I consistently made little changes every day until they became a habit. Today I reap the benefits because I sculpted out a healthier lifestyle for myself. I work out every day with energy and vitality, always having the stamina to take care of my family and my business. The joy and excitement is way beyond anything that I could have ever imagined. So that is enough about my health. Let's talk about my business. I think that what has helped me most get to NMD is that I always get up and go to work. I'm consistent and I stay in line. I never let people depress me when they turn me down. I actually feel sorry for them when they turn me down about the product. I don't feel as if our business is for everyone. However, I always tell my product and my business story simultaneously, and then it's really up to them. When I do get a rep, I always let them know that I will be working side by side with them, that I'm not their boss. I will guide them to achieve each position in the most efficient and effective way, but it's really up to them. Now, back to what I said about you having everything inside of you to succeed in our business. Remember where you came from. You have an incredible foundation. Recognize that and acknowledge that. You always want to invest in yourself to learn and to grow and to challenge yourself. Going to Prevention Plus events, regionals, boot camps will help you in this way. You should also be going with your team to support them. However, the quickest way to fail is to compare yourself to other people. Rather think about who you are and when you are at your best. What makes you unique? Stay tuned into your passions. For me, it's that I'm always high on life because I almost lost it at a very young age. I truly want to help people that are suffering because they are not making good lifestyle choices. I believe it's because they're really not informed. People are open to being educated, but they do not like to be sold. Don't be salesy. Show you really care. The old saying, people do not care what you know until they know that you truly care about them, is so true. Most of us do not have marketing experience, and that is a good thing. In our business, we need to ask lots of questions to find people's wounds. Then you can explore with them what they have tried and how that has worked out for them. Don't be in a rush to offer a solution. You have to remember it's all about them. I would like to illustrate this to you through a short story. Once upon a time, there was a woman in her early 30s, and she had two boyfriends, one named Bill and the other Charlie. Every Friday night, she went out with Bill, and every Saturday night, she went out with Charlie. She wasn't being deceptive because both men knew there was someone else in her life. This went on for several years. So one Friday night, Bill picked her up for their date and took her to a nice restaurant. And right before dessert, he took out a jewelry box, got down on one knee, and proposed marriage. She was stunned. She didn't want to say yes, but she didn't want to say no. So she said the worst thing. She said, "Let me think about it." Bill was very upset. He drove her home and they got in an argument. That Saturday night, Charlie picked her up and took her to a really nice restaurant, and they were having a really nice time. And right after dessert, he pulled out a black jewelry box and he got down on one knee and he proposed marriage. She made the same mistake and said, "Let me think about it." He got really upset and drove her home. Now she is all alone in her apartment, having many panic attacks, and the only person that could help her in this situation appeared, her fairy godmother. She said, "My dear, you are so stressed. What's wrong?" The woman told her the story of her two boyfriends. She asked, "Do you think this is a sign that I should choose who I want to marry?" The fairy godmother said, "It just might be. So can you help me out?" "Of course." The fairy godmother said, "Go to your desk, get a pad of paper out, draw a line down the middle, and put Bill's name on one side and Charlie's name on the other side. And then I want you to think about the one thing that you love about Bill and write it down. And then I want you to think of the one thing that you love about Charlie and put it down. And then I want you to take a deep breath. And when you exhale, the name of the man you should marry will magically appear, magically pop into your head." Then the fairy godmother vanished, and the woman had hope now that she could solve her problem. She went to her desk, got a pad of paper, and did as the fairy godmother had instructed, but it took her 40 minutes to figure out one thing that she loved being with Bill. And then it took another 40 minutes to figure out the one thing that she loved about being with Charlie. Now the moment of truth. She read what she wrote about Bill, and then she read what she wrote about Charlie. And then she took a big inhalation, held her breath for as long as she could, and when she exhaled, the name Charlie popped into her mind, and she knew that was the right guy for her. The fairy godmother showed up again. She said, "My dear, did my technique work?" "Oh, it worked like a charm." "Did you decide who you are to marry?" She said, "I'm going to marry Charlie, of course." And the fairy godmother got her notebook and said, "Just for my record, what was the one thing that you decided you loved most about being with Bill?" And she said, "Well, it wasn't easy for me to decide. It took me 40 minutes. But the one thing I decided that I loved about being with Bill was when I'm with him, I think he is the most amazing person in the whole world." The fairy godmother scratched her head and said, "Wait a minute. Um, didn't you tell me that you wanted to marry Charlie?" She said. "I am." "Well, what did you write down about Charlie?" She said. "You know, it took me 40 minutes to realize that when I'm with Charlie, I feel like I'm the most wonderful person in the whole world." Well, folks, it's about others. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did for them, but they will never forget how you make them feel. Everyone needs someone in whose eyes they shine. This works if you work it. Don't be in a hurry to sell or recruit them. Get them to fall in love with you. Only after that, after you've asked questions and you've expressed concern, should you offer them a possible solution. And then the decision is theirs for both the product and the business. If you keep this in mind, you will start building relationships and acquire customers and reps much faster. If they turn you down, ask them if you can keep their contact info on hand so that you can invite them to an event that you think they might have an interest. Remember, it may take several exposures. Most often it does. Once again, we can offer them a possible solution, but then the decision is theirs, both the product and the business. Now, there are a lot of social media platforms, but you must talk with people once you have made the connection. One little tip that has helped me to get Facebook people to hear that I care is by sending a recorded message to them in a private message. Once they hear me, they are more often open to let me call them on the phone. Relationships matter in this business. Belly to belly with people is so important. You can't just do it on social media, in my opinion. It takes hard work in our business to achieve our dreams. If you don't take action, then they will remain just that, dreams. Now I would like to show you a 1.5-minute video that will impress upon you to take your dreams off of the shelf and get after it. All right, right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line and not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. As my game was built on flash and not fire. Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game. Or maybe you're just making excuses.
Okay. I would like each of you to close your eyes at this
He is
time.
suffering from flu-like symptoms.
Sorry about that. I'd like for each of you to close your eyes at this time. And I want you to think of the people that you are inspired to help, but you're a little afraid to approach. I want you to get out of your comfort zone and think, what could possibly happen? They say no. Well, it's a no if you don't ask. But what if they say yes? Now there are possibilities. They get healthier. Possibly they join your business and they help you help others. Now I want you to think what could happen if you stepped it up, if you brought your business to the next level. Where would you be in a year? What about 3 years? Where would you be in 4 years? Maybe your husband joins you. How about in 5 years? Your children join you? Now that's living, doing the things that you love with those that you love. I dare you to be magnificent. It's your time to be your best. Your time to help and inspire people. Go out there and get them. Thank you so very much.